Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we have a Samsung S9 FE Plus where we're gonna replace the screen. This one is still turning on, it's just a little bit cracky and unfortunately scratching the customer hand. So this is not an OLED screen like the previous was, this is an FE edition. Oh sorry, I have to take this. South London Repair, good afternoon. Okay, what is... Yeah? What is the problem? Okay, nothing I can do. We're not replacing screen, unfortunately. Manufacturer. You're welcome. Bye-bye. So, where was I? Yeah, so this one is using an LCD screen and it's FE edition and it's the market value is actually half of the OLED version, but thankfully the screen cost is almost only cost half of it, so that's a good point for the customer. Be honest, in this case I couldn't see too much difference. I'm pretty sure maybe it's have another differences, but I couldn't see anything. Alright, so because we have a shattered glass and it's already losing some tiny shards, so I'm gonna glue it down with this scotch tape, pocket tape, whatever we call this, and after we can work around. Obviously you wanna cut off them on the side because we have to lift up the screen and we have to use a little blade to get underneath. I also using isopropyl alcohol from this little dispenser you can get on Amazon, quite cheap, and it's much easier to work with this than I did it before when I tried to drop a few all the time or spray it and just get there. This is much better. So basically the idea that you get a tiny bit of isopropyl alcohol on the side, you get the blade there, you try to lift it up, you get a little bit more alcohol. If you're doing this very carefully, very nicely, and then you can save actually the screen itself. So like if you have a butter issue and you try to get the screen out in one piece, then you just have to get around quite a few times and you can do this quite easily. It needs some patience. If you are in a hurry, then probably the screen is gonna be blow into your face. It's recommended to use safety glasses. My glasses actually, so I'm wearing very thick glasses and I think they can protect me from almost anything. At least what we get into the shop. What we allowed. Alright, so the game is quite simple. You try to get the blade inside. After I'm using a very thin plastic thingy which can cut through on the glue layers with a tiny bit of isopropyl alcohol. It's very easy to slide and also the screen is not gonna stick up immediately. It's keep moisturized, what should I say? So anyway, the glue is not sticking for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, when the isopropyl is evaporated, it's gonna stick again. So sometimes it's very good if you just want to lift up something and after you want to put back, but once it's damaged these glue layers, it's best if you just take off the old one and put a new one, but depends, different techniques. In this case, we just try to pray open. As you see, the screen is always turning on. Obviously with Samsung devices, if you're not getting the passcode, then you can't turn them off. This is a very good thing, because if you want to follow the device because somebody stole it from you, then it's much better if you can't turn it off, isn't it? But from some reason, iPhones still, you just press the button, you turn it off, and it's no more GPS follow or whatever. You can't find that phone until it gets into Shenzhen, where they turn it on again. With Samsung, first the battery have to die. Until then, you can follow it up, unless, of course, they take out the SIM card and you can't connect to the Wi-Fi, and etc. But if you have an O2 contract or Virgin contract, basically half of the city Wi-Fi is available for you for automatic connection for free. In that case, it's very easy to follow up on device. I'm just saying it's, a thing in here. Alright. Oh, by the way, this little plastic, what you can see, that one is from a broken screen television. A lovely Samsung, which donated these internal organs, and we cut them up for little pieces. And it's helped to save a lot of phones and iPads and tablets in the future. We try to recycle everything if it's possible. Now, this is a tedious work, so I have to talk a lot to keep you busy, but if you want, we can instead play some music. Maybe not. We are almost there. It's already started to open. Now, when you open a Samsung tablet, any Samsung tablet from the last 10 years, you want to be very careful, because it has a screen cable there with a limited distance. So you don't want to wide open immediately. Just nicely, gently, until you see the cable inside. After, you have the chance to disconnect it. In this case, and in most cases, these cables are protected with a tape, so they're not getting loose. First, you have to remove the tapes carefully without damaging the cable. Get around it. Dear customer, please don't try this one alone. Let the engineer do this, because if you rip that cable, or you rip the connection on the main board, that one can cost you either 20, 40, 80 pounds easily. Alright, once the cable is free, we have another one, but that one is going to the digitizer, so we don't have to worry about it. Unless when you put the blade inside and you cut it through. But with the new screen, a new cable is coming, so it's not a problem. Alright. It's a good idea to remove the battery connection. Unfortunately, I had no chance to reach that because it's protected with screws. You just have to take out a few screws, lift up that part where the battery is connected, and you can do it quickly. Alright, let's open the new screen from the package. I always leave the last bubble wrap around the screen before installation. It's less chance accidentally moving and breaking it before installation, which can cost £100 easily. With all these screens, it's recommended to first test before you glue it in. So we're just gonna make sure it's fully inside. As long as it goes, close it. It's have a white line, but in this case it's not where is it going in, so This is why I tried twice. And we try to turn it on. All right, we have screen, so that's a good sign. Now we just have to make sure the digitizer is working as well. For that one, we have to boot in. Without the customer code, we can only test basically the main points. But you know, these digitizer are built up from rows and columns. So basically, if you can go through all of these things, then yeah, you have a good screen. Just move around the things. If it's quickly jumping on one point, then you have a faulty digitizer and you don't want to use that screen. You can send it back immediately. Of course, we can't turn it off, but at least we have to wait until the screen is powered down before you try to disconnect it. All right. Once we are happy with everything, we put back the battery connection and not turning on the tablet. At the moment, we put back nicely the screws. We connect the screen again. Make sure it's gonna be a good connection. You can see the white line. Yep, it's exactly where it should be. Perfect. And we put a tape on it, because if it's Samsung did, then it's probably a good chance it's gonna pop out. The last thing is remain. We have to glue the screen. For this one, some shops are using prepared double tapes, which is cut it in the right place. We are using B7000 glue, which give a flexible and waterproof connections. But for that, and mostly waterproof, for that you have to go around nicely and not leaving out any part. Now obviously these tablets are not waterproof, but you know, we're doing the best. Alright, let's push back. If you hit the tablet side, and this is why it was cracked, then you have trouble in this case, because the new glass not gonna going back. In that case, you have to unbend the corners or side where is the metal is hitting the new glass. But if you have any problem like this, do it before using the glue, because you have approximately 10 minutes before this glue starts drying, and after it's really, really hard. Unfortunately, I can't remove this sticker, so I'm just gonna remove the whole thing. Second thought, the customers requested also a protector glass, so at the moment I'm gonna leave that one here before I put some fingerprints on it. Once again, I check the digitizer, make sure it's good everywhere. No quick jumps, so I am happy. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time, and have a lovely day. Bye.